Well, 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 Internet, Colorado, everyone watching at home, it is a time for celebration. The final event here at the U.S. Open, the big show, men's super pipe, modified pipe finals here today. The weather has cooperated for us. We have seen all sorts of incredible things all weekend, and it all really boils down to the final show, the contest that originated the U.S. Open way back when, the halfpipe contest, a crazy iteration that we're about to see of it today with the modified pipe that we've been looking at all week. This morning, we of course saw women's finals, Zhao Tong taking home a win undeniably, kind of just no question there. And today's finals definitely going to be interesting. As far as a rider list goes, dropping first is going to be Danny Davis. A lot of talk about Danny Davis kind of being the godfather to events like this. You know, with the Peace Park, he introduced this idea of, hey, let's kind of mix up the way the halfpipe looks. And now, whether he likes it or not, here we are at the U.S. Open looking at a modified pipe. It is going to be incredible, uncertain what will happen exactly. Chase Blackwell dropping next, Shishiro Shigeno, Joey Akasan, Rakai Tate from New Zealand, Jan Scherer, Jake Pates, Yuto Totsuka, Pat Burgener, who qualified second, and of course, Scotty James. Taylor Gold right behind me, riding through, not in the finals, but, you know, who knows? Maybe we'll see him get into something, maybe a little poach. Unknown, okay? It's all part of it here at the U.S. Open. We are having some fun, that is for sure. Why don't we try and check in with Chase Blackwell, who's right behind us, see how he's feeling. He just turned 21. Chase, how we doing, bud? How's the 21-year-old energy feeling on you today?
Dude, I think the 21-year-old energy has more energy than I've ever had in my entire life, and it's going to be a great day. I just am so excited, so pumped for the blue skies and good times.
Yes, you're dropping right after Danny Davis here. You think you're going to be able to use his run as a little bit of a power boost, a little bit of a inspo?
Oh, yeah, 100%. He's one of the cleanest and one of the styliest, so I really have looked up to Danny my whole life, so going right after him is definitely going to fire me up, so I'm stoked.
Heck yes. And what else might we expect from you or the rest of the field out here? Any predictions?
I don't know. I think we're going to see a lot of different runs and a lot of different tricks going down, so it's kind of anyone's game. I don't think it's really tied down to one rider today.
Yes, yes. Well, Chase, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We will see you out there. Good luck, of course.
Right on, thank you.
Dropping soon. Yes, this is The Scene. Again, Last Resort Live, the alternative webcast. We will have split screen action here for all of the runs. You will hang out at the top for run 1, and then we will get on down so we can hang at the corral for run 3, where things really get interesting and fun, really get the vibe, really get the feeling of how it is going to feel. Yuki Kadono right behind me, yesterday's slope champion. I don't know if you guys saw. We'll try and talk to him quick. Yuki, what up?
What up?
How are we feeling today after the big win?
Feels great. Yeah, a little hungover.
Little hungover, as we should be. Top of the pipe. Are you excited for the show here tonight?
Yes. Yes.
Any predictions on a winner? Anybody's game.
Yeah.
Anybody's game. Feels Scotty driven, but again, so many riders out here. Yuki, congrats on your win last night. We're hanging out. This is The Scene on Top of the Pipe. We are going over this way. We've got some more just shredders hanging up here. Luke Winkleman, definition drip right now in the kit. Luke, how we feeling? Final day of U.S. Open. How's the weekend been for you?
Oh, amazing. I couldn't ask for a better one. This weather, come on.
Incredible.
Incredible. Yeah, we're living. I've got this little highlighter on, so maybe we'll be seen in the poach a little bit better.
Yeah, maybe be seen.
Because I rip at pipe, so.
Do you?
No. Sarcasm, but I'm going to try to ride it pretty well. Might slip out.
How close? We see Shaun White over here. How close to Shaun White are we going to be following?
I'm going to be right on Shaun's tail, I think. I mean, I got to follow the Prada goggles, you know.
Yeah. Got to follow the Prada goggles. It's a big move out here. Marcus on camera. U.S. Open's sleepiest contender. We talked to him earlier. Brock, I saw you poach during women's. Were they happy or a little upset with you for that?
I don't think I'm allowed to be up here right now, actually. I don't know why I'm here right now, but I am, and it is going to be the most crazy run that's about to happen right now. We're all going to go in the half pipe.
You heard it here. Honestly, a lot of these slope riders getting juiced up here at the
Click
pipe.
Worldwide.
Click Worldwide.
Click Worldwide. Go purchase one. $20 for the best hat ever. Go get it.
All you have to do to get an advertisement on Last Resort Live is actually just walk up to me and start talking into the microphone. So that's actually an easy one. No brainer.
Probably the most hectic fucking. That was insane.
If we had to guess who was going to be the hottest poacher, best poacher out there, most notable, what are your thoughts here?
Blake Axelson,
Blake Axelson, notable poacher.
a.k.a. Click Worldwide.
A.k.a. Click Worldwide. We're joined now by Darcy Sharp. Darcy, how are the legs today? How are we feeling post-slope?
Feeling pretty good post-slope, post the après slope. Yeah. We're hanging in there. Yeah. Thanks to these boys. They're keeping me good.
Darcy's...
We're keeping him up. We're keeping Darcy up.
Darcy Sharp last night had a good time, just as much as any of us would have after a big night. You know, just as much as it's an event to be out here riding, it's also an event to get out there at night. It's a crucial part of the U.S. Open, and if you're not living up to that, you're not living your best life.
U.S. Open Concert Series.
Yes.
Read about it.
Read about it. Check it out. We are joined by, of course, Brock Crouch, Darcy Sharp, Luke Winkleman, some of our favorite snowboarders out here riding, shredding, giving daps. Yeah, we're going to try and talk to Jake Pates here today. Hopefully, if we can locate him, find him.
Check out Luke Winkleman on SoundCloud.
Check out Luke Winkleman on SoundCloud. That's been a big discussion of the week, of course. Just, I mean, a who's who of riders right here. We got CGK right here. Carlos Garcia. Oh, we're lost the mic. Sorry.
As far as the work, because I know you
There we go.
worked on some pretty high slope.
We're back? Yeah.
You know,
Mike is back. Okay. All right. Carlos Garcia, night. Nope. Yes, Angie? Can you hear me back in the studio, Angie? Angie is our contact back in... Angie? Here, why don't I... Yes, last time this happened, I did it on-off, and it worked.
That's always how you fix it. Just turn it on and off again.
What about now? Yeah. Wow, turn on and off. I don't know if you've ever seen the skyscraper with the rock. It's basically, he just turns off the power system in the building. It's a long story. Anyway, Carlos Garcia night. Gosh, it's good to see you. Good weekend for you.
Yeah, it's been fun actually. But I feel like it's been a good weekend for you too, Stan. I've seen you roaming around.
You know, it's a non-stop talk fest, okay? They were like, who can we get that just doesn't know how to shut up? Stan, that's who they got. Now, coming here from New Zealand, are you filming in the Burton movie this year?
Yeah, we're gonna go on like a trip to Whistler, but it's like kind of mixed in with some other stuff as well. So if I get some shots in, hopefully it'll get chucked in the movie.
Nice. Yeah. Now I know that there is some sort of energy between New Zealand and Australia. Are we rooting for Scotty James, or is it a national pride issue?
Nah, I reckon like since we're over here and Australia and New Zealand are pretty much neighbors, so I reckon in this situation I'll go root for Scotty, but like if there was a Kiwi up against him, you know, that'd be another story.
Well, Rakai is in there.
He's number one, like that's for sure. But I mean, Scotty's been killing it, so it's hard. Rakai is a sick run though, and I've seen he's been like switching it up a little bit, so I'm hyped to see him go.
Hyped as well. You know, big plans for you beyond this. Are we going to hang out tonight? I mean, will we see you out there later? Do you ever ride the pipe?
Yeah, we're gonna get in there, poach a little bit. Yeah. I rode like the iciest half-pipe ever in Calgary a week ago, and so I feel like nice and trained up, you know. But it looks fun, so I'm done. And yeah, I'll see you tonight. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Carlos Garcia Knight, Burton rider from New Zealand. Thank you so much. We will see you out there. Enjoy the poach. Again, Last Resort Live, your host, Stan Leveille here. Behind the scenes access to the U.S. Open like you might never see, okay? We've got all of our homies in the house. Ben Ferg in the back. Let's get a vibe on Ben Ferguson.
Hey, I'm back.
Oh, Alex Andrews
Hey,
back.
guys, back.
Can't stay away from the camera. Alex Andrews,
Last resort.
you know, filming a lot of these cliff lines for the Burton riders, do you think that you're upping your chances at getting a 10K cut in?
I missed the deadline, but I'm going in. I'm hoping they're going to have a rebuttal about it.
Okay.
Cliff Bar, please give me a second chance.
Yeah. You've got a hot Dave Downing line and now a Ben Ferg in contention. Is that true?
Yeah, we have Ben Ferg in contention, and we have Brock. But here's the deal. I had a long night, you know, and I just wasn't able to get the deadline in time. We're out here today. It's sunny. Had a couple beers. We're good to go.
We are good to go. Last day here at the U.S. Open. Sunshine, smiles.
What are you thinking here in the pipe? I want to know what your thoughts are.
I mean,
You see Dan's back row at Sev?
my thought about this is that the people's champion forever remains Danny Davis. The people's champ at the end of the day, no matter what happens, Danny Davis is going to be a fan favorite.
But he's going to be in 6th, huh?
But he might be in 6th place. That's all I got to say. There's a lot of big spins going out there. Scotty James is a little bit untouchable. You know, it's hard to deny that. But, you know, if we're talking who's winning versus who my favorite rider is, different question, of course. But I think Scotty probably has this one if he's able to stick it down, though we did see him lose in Calgary just the other week.
I did just see Shaun White in there, and that he was going big, dude.
Shaun White is actually, for the record, going absolutely insane. Like, there's a part of me that has to wonder if Scotty James is watching it being like, oh, damn. Like,
Dude, I was pretty,
jeez,
damn.
take it easy, Shaun.
Yeah.
You know.
I think Shaun is actually frothing.
Yeah, Shaun is completely frothing out there. Well, Alex,
Nice chat.
nice
I'll be back
chat.
in like a
We'll
few
be
minutes.
back.
I'll be back.
Of course, your behind-the-scenes look here at the U.S. Open. Oh, wow, and we have eyes on Pat Bridges. My boss, he is going to literally hate this, but we're rolling on him anyway. Hey, Pat Bridges, Last Resort Live here. Joined by Pat Bridges, legendary snowboarder, kind of iconic figure in snowboarding in general. Pat, are you going to get out there and poach today?
No.
Strict no. Is there even a small part of you that wants it? Maybe show these people what some hand plants look like.
No, I had a run-in with the game warden this morning, and I'm kind of flagged, so no poaching.
No poaching.
What is this? Is this a vlog?
This is kind of a live vlog, if you will.
Oh, okay.
Yes, solid stuff here. They just put me up here and keep making me talk. It's kind of this crazy vibe.
I've been watching this live stream of a fishing tournament, which is crazy, like a fly fishing live stream.
A fly fishing live stream. Pat Bridges, you heard it here first. Kind of a legendary figure. My boss, Pat. Who do you think's got this thing today?
That's a good question. I followed, though he's not in the event, I followed Danny Cass through the pipe and talk about still got it. I was like fanning out as I was trying to follow him, but and seeing like people like Nicola Toast here, which is a trip, and Gretchen Bleiler riding, but I gotta go for Danny Davis because this is his arena, and he actually is true to the spirit of a modified pipe by combining like sort of the technicality of like hand plants and low impact snowboarding in the tighter training zone, and we know what he can do in the 22-foot section. So I'm a big fan of that, but obviously, you know, people like Scotty James are always going to bring it and stuff. But, you know, they all got to be stoked that people like Shaun White are just poaching. Yeah. You know?
Yes, thinking the same thing. Well, Pat, thank you so much. Good to see you. Mittens, yeah, hot out.
Blown up.
That's Pat Bridges, my boss, a very strong opinion leader here in snowboarding, and we are just at the top getting ready for this all to happen. You see Rakai over here. Maybe we can get a quick word with Rakai. Rakai, what up, my man? How we feeling? Big finals day, U.S. Open. What's on the mind?
Oh my God, I'm just too excited. I need to calm down, otherwise I'm gonna land flat on everything. But yeah, no, I'm really excited to be here, man. It's a beautiful day. Can't believe it.
Yeah, we talked to Carlos Garcia Knight. He said he was obliged to root for you for #1 because you guys are both from New Zealand. Does it feel good to have CGK on your back?
Oh man, CGK all day, man. I love it. I love the Kiwi sport, and Carlos is the man. So Yeah.
All right, little strategy question here. Are we going safe first run, or are we coming out with the gasoline?
I'm probably going to do a similar run that I did in qualifiers first run, and then the next two, I got free reign to do whatever I want. So, so I'm hyped, yeah.
All right, well, thank you, Rakai.
Thank you.
Good luck out there.
Thank you, yeah.
All right, this is Rakai, the New Zealand contender out here. Wow, it is just a literal who's who. Pat Burgener over here filming some sort of interview. Let's find out what that is about. You know, what is Pat Burgener? Pat Burgener, you're behind the lens all of a sudden. Oh, you're analyzing a run, aren't you? Okay, you're analyzing. Pat Burgener qualified second. We'll give you a second, but quickly, how we feeling? Feeling good? Any tips for yourself before going in?
Oh man, today's crazy. There's so many people. The weather is amazing, and I mean, I'm just super chill right now because we're all riding for Jake, and there's like a different vibe than a regular contest somehow. There's like everyone's here, and it feels like we're riding not for ourselves but for someone else.
Well, thank you, Pat. We'll let you get to that footy review. I would hate to get in the way of that. Pat Burgener, everyone. Of course, don't forget the Red Bull double screen is live. There's action next to me. We've got Red Gerard right behind our trusty cameraman, Eric, giving him bunny ears. He's up here. Who isn't up here, you know? Again, the U.S. Open, known for its fun energy, every rider's favorite event, and it is no surprise here. We're seeing riders of all sorts. Ben Ferguson, the undeniable street fighting champ here at the U.S. Open.
This guy won't stop talking.
Yeah, I can't stop talking. Get in there.
All right, Stan, so switch it around, okay? You've been interviewing nonstop. Past 4 days or something, I've been seeing you with this thing in your hands. How's it been? How's your USO experience been so far for 2020?
So far, I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10. You know, wasn't able to really get as much riding in as I wanted to because I was, of course, busy interviewing the entire time. But all in all, pretty good weather, and mostly just think it's a fun time.
Okay, and absolutely, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Do you think if you weren't working so hard, you would maybe get some more riding in?
I think if I wasn't working so hard, I would be able to ride more. Riding, of course, a different kind of work because, you know, working here on the mic is one thing, but I also would like to do a little work on the board as well because you got to show people when you're in a job like mine that you can hold your own, and I'm barely doing that right now.
And what is your idea on the new modified Super Pipe? How are you feeling about this thing, man? It looks difficult.
It does look difficult. Honestly, my real opinion about it is that not a lot of the riders really know what to do with this top section, nor do they know if the judges really care. But I think it's a fun, interesting plot twist at the very least.
Okay. Well, that's it.
Oh, back to you snowboarding. What big tricks do you have on your mind coming up? Anything
in the
you're
run?
hunting?
In the run, honestly, best case scenario for me in a run would be like one Andrecht on the very end on the 13-foot section. I think that's the best. That's the best I could hope for.
Okay. Let's get you in there. Okay.
Yeah, we'll try.
Yeah. You should poach with us.
Well, that's a wrap up from the three amigos, okay? That's a wrap up.
Thank you, guys. Oh, wow, so much. Almost a mic drop situation. Hey, Ben Ferg, Red Gerard, you guys are legends. Thanks for hanging. Last Resort Live, as you heard. Out here just having a good time, talking to the people, you know, getting a sense of what's going on. Quick wave off cam. Red Gerard's family up here as well, making the rounds. What things we can expect? I don't know, a lot of amplitude, a lot of cheering, a lot of sign slamming. You know what I'm saying? What up, guys? Big energy, right? Arms up. Big energy from these guys. Everybody literally feeling themselves. Should we get out to the deck? It's kind of our classic angle, you know? We like to get out there to the deck, feel something a little beforehand. Oh, yeah. Won't be talking to your athletes. I'll be inspiring your athlete, Toby, okay? I'm not out here just talking. I'm out here doing God's work, I think it's called. Is that? Yeah, a lot much. But Toby Miller, of course, in the gate, if you can't see. Toby Miller right here, a great snowboard pipe rider. Chase Blackwell, joined by Chase Blackwell. Toby, I know you're probably a little bit bumped to not be riding this thing. You took a little ankle spill. You took a spill, hurt your ankle. Is that right? Or
No. I took a spill, hurt my back, bruised the ribs a little bit. I'm all good, but I'm here to support my boy, Chase Blackwell.
He's here to support. Love to see that, Toby Miller. I saw him going down in a sled yesterday. They made him go down in a sled. He wasn't happy with it. He was leaned up, kind of laughing next to me, making jokes, pointing out the fact that he thought it was insane. Chase Blackwell's in the gate, which means it is game time. Danny must have just dropped then. And that is a bummer to have missed. Danny Davis, of course, one of my favorite riders out here. I don't know if you saw at X Games, quick flex, the stand plant as we're calling it, when Danny Davis hand planted on my board. We talked about bringing it back, but we don't want to beat a dead horse with that one. Of course, your start list here today, Danny Davis dropping first, followed by Chase Blackwell second, who we just saw right here, number 9. Signs down at the bottom. Energy is high, okay? Again, this is the event that the U.S. Open really born around. Halfpipe, okay? And now here in 2020, the contest is still going. All of snowboarding's favorites, people hanging out in one place. Chase Blackwell heading out into the field. We're going to wish him luck. Top of the deck here. And he's in. Chase Blackwell, newly 21, into the tombstone, launching right off, taking that one pretty deep. Second hit going in to the hip feature. Hope you're enjoying this nice little split screen feature that we have here that combines a lot of action and me, Stan, on top of the deck, talking to you about the scene, the energy. Of course, if you want the regular broadcast, you can always head over to Red Bull TV. If you want to hear the sweet, soothing voice of Sal Masekela and T-Bird, always head over there. But why not hang out here with me, Stan, Last Resort Live. First run's well underway. It's a 3-run final. And, of course, the best rider at the end of this, your U.S. Open 2020 champion, joining a list of unbelievable snowboard names, including, of course, Shaun White. Will Scotty James get a repeat? Countless names here. And it is just fun to be on the deck. Shishiro here on the deck, looking up at the above zone as we see kind of the ideal spectator spot above us. Kind of give a little wave. Everyone's friendly up there. It's nice. Everyone's chill. Wearing the bib 8, Shishiro getting hyped up from the little homie. That is the kind of energy we've got going into finals at the U.S. Open. Everyone smiles on their face at the end of the day. If you're walking away, you're having a good time regardless of the place. Jimmy-san, as we talked to him earlier, right here with us. Shishiro dropping into the tomb. Oh, skipping the tombstone. Now, as we see in the men's, a lot of the men are taking 2 hits in the top section. Danny Davis, we did see get 3 hand plants. Not sure if he went for it first run. Actually missed that. This keeps happening to me. I get talking, I get yapping, then I missed the first run. So not really sure what Danny was pulling. But that is a full pull. Team Japan up here clapping, feeling pretty good about that one. Japan is in the house at this U.S. Open. There is no doubt about that. Joey, out of this one. Getting told, of course, staying out of the mainstream, okay? This is the alternative stream. We would hate to cross mainstream and side stream. We got a whole bunch of stream problems going on here. We would hate to cross it up, but Joey Aukison coming up next, a young gun, 17 years old. ending up in the pipe. Similar age to Dusty Henriksen, who we saw yesterday afternoon, I should say, carrying an insane energy into slope finals. I have a feeling that this young energy is going to be a much needed effect here in modified pipe. Super finals, you know, that's what I like to call this, kind of a super final, you know. All the world's best out here. We've seen Shaun White out there. Again, Shaun White actually going ridiculously massive. Joey Oxen looking young, living in Vermont, where, of course, the U.S. Open originated in Vermont. Moved out to Colorado, I think, about 8 years ago due to just general sun and conditions. A lot of Vermonters were sad about that decision, of course, but ultimately out here you were able to build and have a little bit more dependency than you would. So Joey Oxen dropping in right now. Taking the tombstone, little backside one, maybe going, hoping for a little something different on that, I have to assume, heading into the main 22-foot section. And just taking the first hit to the top of the Colorado Peaks, trying to show everyone in the field just the kind of amplitude they're looking for, not able to hold on to it in the final hit of the modified pipe. Gigantic back nine. Danny Davis is over here. We might even try and get a word with him. Oh, Dan, we'll get you quick. How we feeling, buddy? Missed your first run.
Oh God!
You're really already live.
You're really in this for the. Aren't you supposed to? Okay, you're more in this for the interviews than the.
We're in this mostly for interviews. They do, of course, give us a side action angle now, but mostly in it for the interviews. Feeling good. How is the three handplant line still holding up and still feeling good about that?
Actually, I didn't do the three handplant line. If you were watching, you would have seen that.
I missed your first run.
Right,
I was asking.
Right. You're admitting to that. Okay, no.
Yeah.
I did handplant, and then I did the side hit out, which is, you know, I'm kind of learning that's kind of the easier line to just get one hit and go for the out. The three handplant thing is a lot more edging and turning and slowing down and hand placement and making sure it's where it should be. So maybe next round do the triple plant. Do you like that more?
I like the triple plant, but we're of course going to make sure we get coping on those.
Yeah, I know.
It's going to be tough, believe me.
Who are you, Pat Bridges all of a sudden?
Yeah,
Jesus.
exactly. Well, we did talk to him earlier. This is Danny Davis, a spirit, if you will.
Not to be confused with Jake Pates.
Not to be confused with Jake Pates, another great half-pipe rider who I definitely have never mixed up for anyone else on any previous live cast of this show before. But Dan, hey man, I know.
How's your day? Are you doing good? Did you get some rest last night?
I kept it just perfectly crazy / mellow. 2 a.m. Yeah, 2 a.m. to bed, and we're back.
We're late starters here at the U.S. Open.
Yeah, I have an obligation to also be out at night as well as the day.
No, just as important.
Yeah, easily as important.
It's obligatory.
All right.
I will be obligatory out tonight.
Yeah, Danny, thank you so much. We, of course, just talking with Danny Davis. This event's poster child, whether he likes it or not. Should we go, Scotty? Scotty James. Wow, I knew this had to become, I'm actually touching the gloves.
The mic's done again.
Oh, wow, we are having a mic down situation at the worst possible time.
Camera mic's working, so if it doesn't work,
we'll get it back.
Hey guys, it so like they can hear us from up there.
They can still hear us from up there. All right, Scotty.
Nope, not working. Oh well. I don't know what's happening. It's on.
Even now?
Now it is.
We're live. Okay, wow, Scotty, thanks for bearing with us. This is Last Resort Live, okay? Mics are turning off.
Okay.
All right. Now, how many pairs of these gloves do we have?
Just one. Just one.
Okay. And when did you decide these were the winning gloves, and when did you decide that you had to, do you keep them in a metal case at home?
Metal case, yeah. Keep them padlocked up. Yeah, you know, no one really finds them until days like today. but the first time I discovered it would have been about 3-4 years ago.
Okay. Now Pecky is here, I'm told. Why is he not here psyching you up before this contest?
He, you know, he's really good like that. He understands that I'm in my moment up here and I'm getting ready to compete. So he's probably down the bottom, maybe, hopefully cutting some deals for me. We'll see.
Good. Scotty, we'll let you do your thing, but hey, man, thank you so much.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Enjoy the show.
That is Scotty James, ladies and gentlemen. Your top qualifier and undeniable man to beat here at the U.S. Open. We are going to go check out the tent. Ooh, we have a robust tent scene. Come on in, Eric. Eric is just still working so hard out here. Maybe a quick lift of the goggles. And we're hanging out, wow, right next to Jason Williams. Didn't even expect this. Celebrity chef to the stars and athletes. Jason, the reason Anna Gasser landed the double crippler right here. And wow, Danny Cass right in front of my vision. Danny. Things have changed a little bit maybe since the last time you were riding these things. Does it freak you out?
That's enough, guys. That's enough. That's enough. Thank you all. It is pretty wild to go from a 1990s halfpipe to a 2020 halfpipe.
You know, a little bit of a time difference in there. Are you still finding your own, though?
I am finding my own time. Yes. So maybe now more than ever.
Wow. Okay. Feeling good. You know, who you riding with? Who you lapping with out there?
This year I've been riding with a lot of the ski snowboard club Vail kids and training some of the youngsters in the junior jam like Kaylee Bogart, Patty O. And then on the pro side, I've been looking up to Ryan Lackadorfer over there in the copper pipe quite a bit and getting to see what real shredding's doing.
Yes. Well, Danny, so good to see you here. Thank you so much. True legend of the pipe.
He's a true legend. You're a true legend. And to be featured with you on a little box on someone's cell phone is pretty cool because I've seen a lot of your movies.
Take that one, everyone at home. Look who I'm with. Danny, okay?
Stanny.
Big day. Stanny and Danny, okay? What a day. Danny, thank you so much. We're going to get out of here. Get out of your hair. Get out of the tent. What more could we ask for? An immediate run-in with Danny Cass. What up? We are heading back to the gate, of course. Our favorite place to hang out. Oh, yep. Hello, happy U.S. Open. Yep. Just smiles all around here as we wave, give daps to all of our favorites. Trying to get out here into the gate. Sorry, excuse me, I'm so sorry. Yuki, what up? What up? Just chilling, you know. Hey, Eric, just out here on the deck with my homies, you know. The gang. Gang's all here, Eric. We are at the U.S. Open Super Finals, as I like to call it, the modified super pipe, the main event. The crowd is down there at the bottom. Assuming that the beers are probably flowing. I mean, what's your overall vibe, energy? Are you going to poach this thing mainly?
Yes.
Dude, yeah. We got poaching after.
I saw you rent out your helmet. I saw you rented out your helmet. You better be collecting some interest on that from Scotty. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, we've seen it happening all day. You saw Shaun White out there. Do you think Shaun White is flexing on us?
Dude, I did see him out there. He is subtle flex. He's got these sick pants, I gotta say. All white fur. It's pretty steep, I gotta say.
And the Prada goggles. Did we note the Prada goggles?
I didn't note the Prada goggles. I'm not familiar with Prada. I don't know.
They were, okay. They were Prada. Hey, Eric, sorry, we might have lost you. We're behind a sea of people here at the U.S. Open, of course. Very crowded here. On the top, this is it. This is the final moment, okay? This is what everyone was waiting for with the whole event kind of building up to, you know? So maybe I'll try and get a little closer to you, Eric. I feel bad. I feel like I've escaped you. Who we got over here in the start gate? Jake Pates over there hiding from us, the number 4 bib. Jake Pates, local Colorado shredder. The crowd is loving him up here, Eric. He's going to drop in now. Show Colorado what it means to be a Colorado rider. Little high five. You know, because Scotty James remains so dominant. Oh, wow. Steezy backside spin, tail slidey press on the tombstone, heading into the main 22-foot section. This is looking good. Wow. Almost taking that one a little too close to the deck there. Had a little bit of a panic myself. But these guys are professionals, okay? He was able to hold on to that one. Again, we are Last Resort Live with Stan. If you want to head over to the main stream on Red Bull, head over to Red Bull TV. But we've got action side by side with us, so if you want to hang out, get the behind-the-scenes access, hang out at the top of the pipe, see what the energy is. Well, then you just stay right here. If you're on Facebook Live, hello, drop a comment. If we're on the double live stream ever, if you see me on both streams, make sure to take a screenshot, DM that. I need that for my records, okay? I need that for my records. Oh my God, joined by my left. I didn't even see Teddy Canner. Just an all-around important person for Rockstar Teddy. I mean, what's the most important day for you here at the Open?
I think every day is a great day. Wow. What's the most important day for you?
Most important day for me here at the Open? Here, Teddy, we can't see you, okay? The camera's here. This is camera 101, okay? Most important day for me, you're right, okay? It's every day. That was kind of my trick question, and I was hoping you were going to take the bait, and you did.
I did.
So really big respect.
I mean, it's a beautiful day today, so that's always a great day.
Beautiful day. I mean, now my big question is, down at the bottom we have the industry tent, we have the VIP tent, and we have the athlete tent. Which one is the best one for hanging out in?
Whichever one has food.
Also true. Teddy Canner speaking nothing but facts up here.
If you have cookies, I'm in. Done.
We just found out the way to get Teddy Canner to show up at any event that you have. Bring cookies. Okay, it is that simple. Dropping now, of course, Scherer. Going big Japan grab off that tombstone. Wow, taking his second hit just before the hip feature. Actually using the takeoff for the hip as a landing. Haven't really seen many riders do that. Curious to see what the judges are going to think. And then just, of course, continuing to take this thing completely massively in the bottom 22-foot section with a full pull. The crowd up top is liking that one. And that is just something you love to see here at the U.S. Open. Sunny day, crowd is hyped, we're hyped. And, I mean, there's just nothing really else you could ask for. A crazy time. A crazy time to be here. An unbelievable A-list name of poachers that we've seen throughout the day.
Our riders can get through the gate. Pat's that side, right?
Of course, Pat Burgener will be coming up next. If you don't know much about Pat Burgener, he's a musical artist. He qualified second. He calls this trick that he does the Berg Air. And we need Pat Burgener out here now. We saw him quickly doing a footy review before. As far as one of the most pressing stories of the day, I haven't gotten confirmation about who won the Terrier Mark McMorris snow skate race. But Scott Barber, do you know? No word on the results. That's kind of what a lot of people are talking. Yeah, Pat Burgener here, getting ready to drop, of course, for what is his first run here at the U.S. Open. Modified super pipe. Qualifying second. Will he be able to hold? Oh, thank you. Wow, dropped a glove. Where would I be without the wonderful staff here at the U.S. Open? Nowhere. Wow, I'm going to assume based on the applause behind us that we have a new leader. Scherer probably taking the lead after that incredible run. But for now, we've got Pat Burgener in the start gate. A quick hug. Yes, buddy. A high five for Stan. It's a bold move, you know. again, I said it yesterday, I would be worried about, I get worried about touching these riders before they drop. You know, I would hate to feel responsible for any wrong happenings out there. Dangerous, scary stuff. He has his music going. We cannot really hear what it is. Something good, something that's going to help him boost, something that's going to help him send for the old Colorado Summits here. Vail, Colorado for the 2020 Burton U.S. Open. He showed up in semis. Will he show up in finals? Well, we're going to find out here in a second. Bib number 2, Pat Burgener. Heading straight into the tombstone. Oh, solid frontside invert. Yes, he got coping. That's what we like to see. A little squirrely in his second hit, but getting 3 hits in the mini pipe, something we hadn't quite seen many riders doing here today. We just talked with Danny about it. He said he kind of scrapped the 3-hit idea for his first run, considered doing it for his second. And Pat Burgener hoping to hold on for what will be a full pull and a nice slash at the end there to really solidify that thing. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen. A moment he has certainly been waiting for, and many of you at home probably as well. Scotty James has taken his position in the drop-in ramp here at the 2020 Burton U.S. Open. Again, this is Last Resort Live, the behind-the-scenes stream. We're at the top of the pipe, but if for some reason you are growing tired of listening to me, you can always go over to the main Red Bull stream. Here's Sal Masekela, here Louis Vito, Tina Dixon, T-Bird, laying it down. You know, the A-team, as I like to call it. I'm kind of this, maybe the C. I think there's a C-team action here. We'll give a B-team to someone else. We don't know who. Scotty James could do probably a better job commentating at the top of this pipe than I could, but we'll call him B-team commentator, Sans D. C. Of course, the crowd here, good to see, right along, they've got a little banner wall here, tradition here at the U.S. Open. When you see something you like, you lean over, you slap that banner, okay? It's kind of a better than clapping, cooler than stomping, and it lets these riders know that there's an energy out there, okay? The family that is snowboarding all out in full effect here today for what is everyone's favorite contest. Whether you're a rider, whether you are a spectator, it's hard to get a much better situation than this. Scotty James. I find it notable that Scotty James leaves his gloves undone until the end. He seems to be having like a thinking moment here. Leaves one foot unstrapped. I can't even begin to tell you how crazy I would go if Scotty James dropped into this thing one-footed. I can't even. I mean, there's a big discussion out there whether or not the one-footer is acceptable or not. And, wow, talk about nothing that would bring that conversation to the forefront than if Scotty James just dropped into this modified section one-footed. Ah, he's strapping in. There goes all my dreams of that happening. But, of course, I had to figure that was a little impossible. Starting off the opposite wall from me, a wise choice starting a little further away from me. Some of these riders getting a little close to me beforehand. They feel obligated to give me a high five. It's tough. I feel bad for them. So here goes Scotty James putting his glove on. The anticipation is high. Will he bring the run one so he can kind of sit and chill? Or will he kind of play this one a slightly bit cooler and see if anyone wants to come get him? Unknown. But the good news is we are live, and we're going to find out in a second what he does. He's going in with some speed straight into the tombstone. Boom. Hand plant, hits coping, gets a little jostled. Skips his second hit, so there it is. Scotty James not capitalizing on his first run in the way that he might have hoped, though I have a feeling this bottom section isn't going to look too different. You know, oh, wow, he's calm, but he keeps that almost straight air, maybe just a 360. The all black is blending into the vast crowd that is below us, and he's kind of taking this one easy. He's going to have to show up harder. You know, this is a contest, right? So let's get out of the deck here. That was run one. Eric, I'll follow you. Luke Matrani.
Oh, wow. Oh my God, he's in the presence of a living legend right here.
Get him, yeah.
I can't see.
Luke Matrani, snowboarder, musician, U.S. Open enthusiast. How we feeling?
Feeling great. About to do a little bit of poaching.
Boom. Okay, you played a show the other night. That was incredible. I was there. How is it to have switched roles, going from rider to musical player?
It's kind of surreal, honestly. It's like a completely different world, but yeah, it's the exact same.
Yeah.
So it's pretty sweet. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Luke.
You're welcome, Stan.
Good to see you as
Good to
always.
see you too.
That's Luke Matrani, everybody. We've got a lot of people up here. I'm wondering if something might not be happening or if there's some sort of, we don't know. It's kind of an energy at the top here. I can't see. Oh, you got me? Sweet. Yes, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that there's something that might be going down here that we might have to take a little part in, you know? Again, run one, just going down. Scherer, I believe, sitting in first. Scotty James with his work cut out for him going into run two. The Burton U.S. Open. I have a feeling there's something going down here. There's a lot of people. Marcus is here with the Red Bull helmet on.
I'm on now.
Marcus is on. He's ready to show us what he's got. I think I'm going to take a liberty and maybe strap a foot in here.
Come on over here, we'll let it slip through.
Eric under a immense amount of pressure as he tries to strap in. Eric, no small feat. We are going to take this thing. This is no small feat. Do you want me to hold? Oh, our producer, Josh, taking the camera. He's all got a bunch of wires connected to him. Crowd is starting to cheer, as I think what we must be getting ready for is a good old-fashioned U.S. Open poach. Weather, of course, still with us as well. Vital part here. Yeah, we're getting in on this. We wouldn't miss this. You know what? We are doing good, okay? Big energy here last day, you know? I tried, you know? And we actually snowboard sometimes. I can't even put this in my head. Okay. If you are just checking in, we are at the top of the pipe. It is the U.S. Open, the modified pipe. Kind of crowded around the TV screens here as we get a little bit excited. A lot of clapping going down. Danny Davis in the start gate. I think we should strap in, Eric. I'll get my foot in first. Then maybe I can get you.
Sounds good.
All right, Eric, I'm going to do my best to strap you in here. So get your foot in there. This is some of the behind-the-scenes stuff. Like Eric is my child.
This is going to be terrible TV.
Okay, welcome to my parenting video. where I try and buckle Eric's binding. I can't do it.
Oh, you hold the camera.
Talk on a webcast, sure. Buckle in, Eric. No, I can't. Not possible. Some things are just harder than others, and buckling in your cameraman is one of those things for me, I guess. Thank you, Eric. Wow. I mean, if you're at home. Oh, gosh.
All kinds of problems. Gee, that's good.
Can you hear me now? Okay. Randomly, our mic is losing connection, you know. I get it. Here's the thing. We've been putting this mic through a lot of trouble over the last 4 days. We've seen insane things between men's and women's qualifiers, where the weather, of course, not helping out, right? Kind of a plot twist during the men's slope, as many of the contenders we might have expected to see in the finals didn't end up making it there. Moving into pipe this morning. Not a massive surprise at the results. Matty Mastro, though, probably the story of not being able to hold that run. And then, of course, here we are. The final event, men's modified super pipe. Again, kind of the spirit and the essence of where the U.S. Open was created. And a big part of that contest historically has been the poachers, okay? The riders who are not officially in the contest, but still get in the mix, still get some air, still hype up the crowd, you know? And after all, this is Last Resort Live, your backstage pass to everything that goes down here at the Open. So we didn't really know that this was going to happen, but there's kind of a large collection of people here. We can only assume what's going to go down. And how messed up would it be if we didn't show you? Now, of all times, the final day. Other poachers in my field. This might be the only time I ever share a half pipe with Shaun White. Share a half pipe with Scotty James. The crowd just giving it up for Jake Burton. I think it is a celebration out here today. And it's looking like these people are getting going. So we're going to do it. We're going to follow Eric, our trusty cameraman. He's going to brave the elements. You thought he had it hard going up and down the scaffolding stairs. Well, how about a super pipe, huh? How about we ride in that? And what a sight it is to see all of these riders swarming this field. People from all walks of life, Scotty Lego. Everybody getting in the mix. We're going to take up the tail end here, of course, as we experience this thing firsthand. What do you say, Eric? Should we drop this thing? Let's do it. Oh, yeah, reporting live from the modified super pipe. So fun to be up here. Wow, really getting a sense of what these riders are going through riding into this thing. Scary big. Wouldn't envy anyone who's got to actually show up on there. That wall's icy. Wow, someone just went upside down in front of me. This is Last Resort Live with Stan. Oh, there it is. Unbelievable. A quick poach. Darcy Sharp. Board above his head. Eric made it. Oh, Eric, we are still live and you can still hear me, but we just got to get a little situated here down at the bottom. You just poached with us. Never before seen angle. Eric, a true champ. Let me get you. Gotcha. Helmet undone. Wow. Jake Carpenter would have loved this as these shredders finishing the end of the run. Shaun White holding it till the end. Respect. Big slash. Oh, man, that is Shaun White, ladies and gentlemen. A poacher now here at the U.S. Open. Unbelievable. Henry Jackson, of course, live down here. All sorts of riders. Who to talk to, where to even begin. Alex Andrews, we've heard enough from. Oh, man. Incredible. We got Eric behind me. There's cameras zigging, zagging all over the place. Photos being taken. It is incredible. Oh, wow. Okay. We got to get him. Shaun, incredible, man. Wow, we're live on Red Bull TV. I mean, wow, that was insane. Coming down last, kind of had to show the people I still got it. That's what that was about, wasn't it?
They made me drop last. They're like, you got to clean it up for us. So I'm pumped to be here for Jake, man.
Yes, what a weekend. Shaun, thank you so much. Any anxiety about not being here for the finals? Do you feel like you want to get in there?
And a little bit. You know, obviously I love riding, so watching the contest is tough, but I'm having fun. These guys are killing it.
Great. Shaun,
for Jake.
Doing it for Jake. Thank you so much. That's Shaun White. The scene here at the bottom, just unbelievable, okay? Woo! Feeling the energy. The skiers even coming down and taking that one for a ride. Mark McMorris in the house. Quick wave to McMo. He's looking good. All purple kit. It is just an energetic, incredible time here at the U.S. Open, the most fun event we could ever wish for. And you just witnessed what that was. Biggest poach I think we've ever seen at the U.S. Open. Truly special moment. Truly a special day. Photos, hugs, just such a good energy here at the bottom. The modified pipe. Crowd is lined on the side. Danny Davis leading in to that run. Carpenters at the bottom. They're going to give Danny another run, of course. And wow, just exceptional. Exceptional stuff. Here, Last Resort Live at the U.S. Open. We got an exclusive with Shaun White after his poach run. What else can you really ask for? And for that reason, I think for now, we might sign off for run 2 as we resituate, kind of hang out down in the corral here a little bit.
And we lost the mic. So
Check the scene.
there it is. Now it's back.
Mike is back. Okay. Things in and out. We don't know. Okay. But again, we're going to check back in with you soon. Thank you guys so much. Get on over to Red Bull TV for the main stream for anything that is going down during run 2. You're not going to want to mix it. Of course, the standings are going to change up in that time. And until run 3, okay, the final showdown, I'm Stan Leveille. This is Last Resort Live. We'll be right back.
Called the mid-turn, so you drop down the backside of the mountain here and you end up in a different town, and he's like, you gotta follow me, I know this secret run. The guy's like a human trail map. Took me out to this saloon, and you know, they all had margaritas there. It's like the, you know, the thing, and I was so proud to, you know, and it realized, dawned on me how long I've been with Burton. that the last time I did that run with Jake, I was actually old enough to have a drink with him, so it was a pretty killer time. But yeah, I miss him, love him.
A human trail map.
Oh yeah, you know it.
You know, Shaun, I'm remembering the moment in 2018 when you won your Olympic gold medal there in Pyeongchang, and
Yeah.
Jake was right there to congratulate you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's been there every time, you know, and even when he wasn't, he still was, you know, supporting me in my career, and you know, changed my life, changed my family's life, and it was just so fitting. I mean, I heard the news, and I was just devastated, and that's the image that I posted on my Instagram that just came to me in my mind of that moment of coming down and seeing him and realizing how long I've been in the sport, how long he's, you know, been supporting snowboarding, and he gave me a hug and told me he was proud of me, and man, it was everything. I'll never forget that moment. So,
If you could
yeah.
say one thing to Jake right now, what would it be, Shaun?
Thank you, Jake. I love you, bud, wherever you're at.
Thank you, Shaun.
Cheers, guys.
Love you, buddy.
Yeah, I love you guys.
Cheers, Shaun.
I mean, you couldn't put it into better context. I mean, you think about the fact that you know, Shaun started riding for Burton at, what, 6 years old, 7 years old?
Yep.
And that relationship all the way through now today, it's fitting that he was the last to come down and able to put it into context for us. And what better way to just be in the energy of this final and to get back up to the top than with Jake, all that magic Jake Burton spirit in the air right now for the rest of this event. As we head back up, this crowd, I mean, no one's ever going to forget getting to witness that moment.
Yep.
And Danny Davis back up to the top for his second run after something I'm never going to forget that.
And I said it on run one, I can't think of a better rider to kick off the U.S. Open pipe finals than Danny Davis. I can't think of a better rider after a tribute that beautiful than for Danny Davis to drop in, because he had such a special relationship with Jake, and Jake had such an impact on Danny's life and Shaun's life, and any Burton rider, any snowboarder, pro or amateur, that's ever strapped in. Danny Davis, he's gonna make this one count. Frontside invert. And then he goes for an Andrecht, and his hand just slips just a little bit on the transition.
Who was talking about maybe we should get studded gloves?
Terry Hawkinson was saying that Jimmy Scott used to ride with studs in his gloves.
There's that switch backside air into the cab, 1080. The big crippler nose grab.
You cannot teach style. But if there's one rider that everyone in the field would say, if I could ride like, I guarantee you 70–80% would be like Danny Davis.
I mean, I know it's cliche, but it's the truth. He's every pro snowboarder's favorite pro snowboarder. Danny Davis, he just does it his way, right? And that's what snowboarding was born upon.
And one of the things that I love about Danny is, as the sport has evolved and gotten more technical, sometimes to the point where it starts to look uniform, which that's not really what snowboarding is. Danny's always took chances and said, you know what, I'm still going to incorporate the things that make me as a rider. I will do some of these other tricks, but only if I can do them and execute them in my way and my style.
Well, and it's like music, right? Music is always going to progress. There's always going to be new styles, new genres, but if you don't incorporate the things that made it as beautiful as it is, it's not going to be all-encompassing. That's what Danny does best.
Well, that's really how snowboarding evolved, was every rider's unique and individual style, and that's just really what makes it such a special and unique sport.
I mean, it's something to be said for the fact that you could, you know, as a kid, see a photo of Terry Hawkinson, and it could be from far, far away, and you know, like, that's Hawkin.
Yep.
That's Gucci. You know, that's this one, that's that. I mean, that's what snowboarding is. It's a personal expression of who you are on this plank.
Shaun dropped into the pipe, and you're like, that's Shaun.
Right. Yeah.
There's, like, whoever it is, you know whose style it is.
Can we talk about that front five from Shaun real quick? Yeah. He's still going 18 feet out of a 22-foot pipe.
We were saying before we came
Unreal.
on the air, like, knowing that Shaun hasn't really been riding that much, like, hey, do you think he could still send it? And he was
100%.
Yeah. We are privileged to have Danny Davis on headset right now.
Yo, 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 yo.
We watched the video of you putting that Polaroid of you and Jake.
Oh, yeah. How
on your
nice
board.
is this thing, man?
What's it like riding with him? And
What a
with,
stud, right?
With his spirit today.
Oh, man, it's nice. It's a beautiful day for snowboarding and a beautiful day to celebrate JBC, man. It's just, we're really missing him today, but with everybody kind of celebrating in his honor, it kind of feels like he's here.
Hey, Danny, what was it like leading that charge?
Dude, I was thankful I was at the beginning of that. Did nobody get smacked on that thing?
None.
Everything's all good.
Zero casuals, bro.
I was extra lucky because I got to be here to just watch all the mayhem go down. It was beautiful, just like sprays and airs and tweaks, and it was beautiful, all in respect to Uncle Jake.
Yeah, down at the bottom, talk a little bit about the vibe when everyone came together and held the boards over their head and they were just hugging.
Yeah, high energy, man, and from all aspects of snowboarding. We had slope guys in the pipe, young kids in the pipe, old Ross Powers was in the pipe, Dan Cass. I mean, can't really ask for a better showing for that thing. That was beautiful.
Well, thank you for your time, sir. We'll
Thank
let
you
you focus on your final showing in that
Yeah, I got to
last
put
run.
something down. Dang it.
We got to get you some grip gloves.
Well, you're still sitting in third place.
I blew that thing. I know. How is that? Scotty kind of let me have one, I think. Just like, hey, enjoy victory lane for a second, buddy, until I lay down my hammer.
We'll
right,
see you
guys.
back up the top.
Good luck.
See ya.
Yeah, Danny.
Thanks, Danny.
We talk about style. You also got to talk about just relentless honesty and truth and personality when it comes to Danny D.
Yeah,
No edit button.
He's one of the best that's ever done it.
And Danny Davis still in that third spot, as he mentioned, as we head back up to young Chase Blackwell, who went absolutely ham in his first run. What does he need to do, you think, to throw in to elevate? Because it was all great execution. The judge is looking for a little more.
Yeah, I think right now he's sitting on a 65.83 run one score. I think he's just got to step it up in the amplitude game, maximize that 13-footer.
Way to avoid the fence.
Oh! The frontside 180 into the 22-foot section of this modified super pipe, and he just sent it to the flats.
His whole run from the get-go was pedal to the metal.
Speed. He was looking fast.
A different line than he took in the first run. And, you know, you see some riders do the cab alley-oop 270 in. He went straight 270 in.
I like the way he just chucked himself over that tombstone.
You know, something to mention too, like I'm still pretty shaken up after seeing all the poaching and all that history in the half pipe. And just think from a rider's perspective, you're up there and you're part of that and you're witnessing that. You got to regroup and get back into like, oh yeah, I got to do my contest run.
Yeah, you got to switch gears.
Came in hot on that 7, just missed that little retaining fence and then chucked it to flats. But Chase Blackwell will be back up there for a third run. Also, greatest name in snowboard. Like if you want to just have a dope name that you're like, I want to meet a Chase Blackwell. I want to know more about someone named Chase Blackwell. As we head back up to Tsuchiro Shigeno. And look, one of my favorite things this week is just the depth of the camaraderie and vibes amongst the Japanese squad. Like, I mean, all for one, one for all, deep up top.
And the number, I mean, we've been talking about it all week, the number of incredible snowboarders that are coming out of Japan right now is unmatched by any other country.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? As a snowboarder, when I think Japan, I just think powder and backcountry riding. Yep.
All right, on course, alley-oop back rodeo. Into the switch, backside 180. This is very similar to his first run. Can he clean it up?
Dropping into the 22-foot half pipe. There's the front side 1440 tail grab. He did the 1260 run 1. There's a cab 1080. And the front side double cork 1080.
Whoa!
Oh, you like the front 12? Well, I'm gonna do a front side 1440 at 14 years old.
On the first of 3 hits in the 22-foot super pipe.
14 for a 14-year-old.
Still very difficult to comprehend that this kid is 14.
And now I'm really interested to see, as we check out the replay here, how the judges are going to score it, because everything except for the 14 was very similar to his first run, but he did step it up, and risking a frontside 1440 on your first of 3 hits in a 22-foot super pipe, the judges are going to give you more points for that, because if you go down on that 14, your run is done. Then he ends it with the double cork front 10.
Almost going for the truck driver.
And he knows it.
If you saw room for improvement, where would it be?
Mine would be the fly out from the mini pipe to the jump landing, just doing a switch back 180. I think if you can up that and then add everything and then let the front double cork 1080, let it go down a little bit so you can really end with your biggest air.
Make it a little bit more floatier in the air.
Well, he just moved himself up 1 slot in the 5th place. As Joey Okeson from Southbury, Connecticut, another youngster, just 17. Put that in the context, you know, Danny Davis is 31 years old. So Danny Davis in the peak of his half-pipe riding career, and Shigeno and Okeson, these kids are just getting started, and they get to do it in the same field at the Open.
A little air to fakie, using that extension as part of the trick into the cab 7, and opting not to hit the fly out. See how that affects his score.
And there's the huge double crippler. You cannot land any higher on the wall. Backside 900, this is where he had difficulty in this first run. Frontside 1080.
That double crippler was maybe the biggest air we've seen today.
Yeah, those viewers that are standing on that side of the wall right under them, or right under him.
Let's see the replay here. He did switch it up a little bit. There's that cab 7.
How about this one? Look how perfect he lands.
That
literally tail
was
to coping.
Ridiculous. Pushing upwards of 20 feet above the deck of that 22-foot monster.
And when you land like that, Louis, what is that? When you land that high and that perfect and just locked in, what does that do to the next wall?
It's like hitting a supercharge. You come out flying into your next hit, and he held it together to the next wall.
It's like hitting one of those yellow arrows in Mario Kart.
100%. It is insane how much speed all of a sudden you're like, zoom. Just got to get his weight over his front foot on the landing on that last trick, especially with how small the wall is and how flat he's landing. You need to be bolt stacked over both feet.
Traditionally, largest crowds at the Burton U.S. Open Snowboarding Championships are here at the final event for men's halfpipe. You see just the throngs lined up along the walls, and traditionally going all the way back to Stratton, you know, hearing the fans banging on those signs. The riders can feel that energy.
If snowboarding had a holy grail, a crown jewel, you're watching it right now. It's the U.S. Open halfpipe finals.
And that's not even up for debate.
No.
Rakai Tate from Wanaka, New Zealand. Here he comes.
McTwist off the tombstone into that 13-foot transition, and the backside alley-oop.
Oh, man, I wanted
Same as
to
run
get
one.
that.
I was just about to say, same as run one.
I know, I was starting to see that run come together right at the beginning.
Yeah, talk about, I mean, the difference in a 13-footer and a 22-footer is just the amount of transition that you have available to you.
Exactly, and just how quick it is because it's very tight, and that's what happened. So he actually overspun that a little bit, and then you add that with how quick the tranny is, and that's why he shot to his back.
Well, the 13-foot pipe, you got to work.
Yeah.
You got to work when you get to the lip, and then the 22-foot pipe, it's more of like, I'm just going to wait and let it happen.
He just overspun it by about 20 degrees.
Which is easy to do because of how quick it is. It just snaps you naturally.
That was insane.
And you notice that difference, how that other alley-oop, he was really having to work to get it around, and there it was just so nice and smooth.
But you see what this kid has available to him if he makes it out of that 13-foot section, and you realize why for more than half of semifinals, he was in the #1 spot.
Yeah, he was our leader. One more time. We will see if he can get it done in that next run. Louis, we say goodbye to you, but only because you're going down to the bottom of the corral to be in the energy and talk to the riders. But so special to get to share that moment with all of you as we celebrated Jake. And we are heading into the meat of this event to give away some hardware. We're crowning a 2020 champion.
There's Jan Scherer right there. Yeah, I think this kid, I mean, don't sleep on Jan Scherer. He is always in the running. I mean, right now, the two big stories of the day are obviously Yuto Totsuka putting down a 92.66, but also the fact that Scotty James is sitting in 9th place right now with a first run score of 28. But this kid, Jan Scherer, can absolutely mix up the top 3. Jan dropping in switch McTwist off the tombstone into the hawk and flip, although that was good info he gave us after his first run. It's a little bit more of a butter than it is a inverted switch frontside 7. Now coming in switch, Jan Scherer going for that cab double cork 1080 into the frontside double cork 12, and then the alley-oop. That was unreal.
And he had a fantastic first run, and I think that's even going to be an improvement on that high score already for him.
I think so too. Currently sitting in 2nd place with an 89.83, right behind, not far behind, Yuto Totsuka.
Yeah, just under 3 points behind. Totsuka is sitting on that 92.66. What did we say at the start? Any one of these 10 riders have the capability of winning this thing today. This, especially with this modified pipe situation.
Absolutely.
And I love the fact that he drops in switch with that switch McTwist off that extension.
I mean, yeah, when you're talking overall impression, part of that is creativity and trick difficulty. And, you know, those switch tricks, I feel like, really play into your favor in the judge's opinion.
And then he goes into the 22-foot wall pipe, cab double cork 1080. And just look where he lands on the 1260, maintains his speed.
That is one of the sickest pipe tricks I've seen in a long time.
Just, look at that, that's just flair.
Frontside alley-oop 9.
Do you see all the cameras up taking shots of that?
Unreal.
He definitely earned the claim. Claim heavy, sir. Oh, judges, this is why they sit over there and we sit over here.
Whoa!
We got ourselves a new leader, friends.
Holy cow!
Game on!
Talk about drama. It's not just about Scotty James and Yuto anymore. It's officially about Jan Scherer and Yuto.
All 10 capable. And I know, Ben Ferguson, you are just dying to say words right now. So we welcome you in, dude. What did you see?
Dude, that was amazing. That was awesome. Jan has been one of my favorite dudes to watch this year so far. I've been watching all the contests from Canada. And Jan's been killing it. It's awesome to see him blast, and it's awesome to see him get that frontside alley-oop 9.
Yeah, talk a little bit about what you've been up to. You haven't been competing a lot this year. You've been filming for the Burton movie, One World, yeah?
Yep, Burton's making a movie this year. We're all hyped. One World be coming out here soon, and just been working really hard up with the Mikey Rents and Solers in Canada, riding POW.
I think we got Jan Scherer. We'll talk more about that in a second, but I think we got Jan on the headset.
Yes.
Jan, when did you learn that alley-oop?
2 years ago, but then I never did it again.
Yeah, I've never seen you do that before, and that was one of the coolest pipe tricks I've seen in a really long time.
Thank you very much. Yeah, when I did it the first time, I grabbed for like, yeah, just like a quarter of the trick. Like, it's for sure the best one I ever did.
Well, not a bad place to decide to do it again and do it perfectly. You are our new leader, the highest score of the week. A 95.16. I know your brain is kind of losing it right now.
Yeah, it's kind of exploding.
Well, where do you take it from here for run 3? What can we expect from Jan Scherer on run 3?
Next question. Honestly, I really wanted to try it. I was not 100% sure if I'm going to land it. So
congrats, man. That was incredible.
I didn't think I'm going to be at this place where I am after the second run.
Well, enjoy it, sir, because that's where you are. We wish you the best.
Thank you.
Whew.
Thank you.
That run was insane.
Yeah, I think he's really surprised at his score. I've seen him compete for a really long time, and he finally got that score that he's been looking for.
Well, what's refreshing to me is I don't remember the last time I saw someone get a 95 plus with a frontside alley-oop 900.
Yeah, I mean, no one's doing frontside alley-oops 9s.
Yeah.
Ever, really.
Yep.
That's an insane trick.
And like he said, like the first time I did it, I held it forever, and this time I held it even longer. I mean, he looked, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It just looked like he'd take a moment to dance in the air for us.
Mm-hmm.
No, he fully laced it. No one's doing that either.
No.
It's awesome. No one's spinning up the pipe in this contest right now.
When they say overall impression, that's what they mean. They see tricks like that, and they're like, oh, we like that.
It's a photographer's dream, that trick, in the middle of a contest run.
For sure. Well, the bar is set super high for the rest of the field. These competitors, though, Ben, and you've been in this situation, you feed off of seeing a performance like that. Jake Pates is only motivated.
I bet he's gripped right now, but I bet he's ready to go, too. You know, you get those nerves. He's ready to send.
What do you see in Jake Pates' riding that's different from some other riders?
Just first hit right here is pretty rad.
Yeah, that's insane.
Nice little butter. I didn't see him do that ever in practice. It's awesome to see.
And I wonder, I see that backside 7 out. I wonder if eventually he's going to try to make that 2, like a double back 10.
Maybe,
he puts down the run he wants. Front 12, double cork, into the double Michael Chuck. And that's the front 10 double cork. Jake Pates takes it up to a whole new level from run 1.
That was an awesome run for Jake. That was the first time I've seen him land that front 12 first hit all year. I bet he's stoked.
Unreal. I just love Jake's style, too. It's so clean, but it's also so distinct. It's like, Sal, you were talking about back in the day, when you see a photo of Terrier, you just know it's him. I almost feel like when Jake Pates is in the pipe, I just know it's him if I'm looking from the bottom up.
Yeah, that cork 7 is risky. That's a risky transfer.
And I don't think I'm that far off when I say he might be able to take it to 2. He got it around quick. He almost over-rotated it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a little too small off that side hit for him to take it to 2.
Yeah.
And I think that was actually one of the weaker points in his run. It was a little loose on that back 7.
Yeah, I feel like if anything is going to hurt him, it's going to be that little fly out right there.
But other than that, it was a super nice run.
And this is what we love to see in a final at the Burton US Open, is just feeding off each other, Jake Pates just put himself up in that conversation as he's on the podium as it stands right now in 3rd place. Looked like he was getting some side coaching from Louis. As we head back up to our leader, Yuto Totsuka. That 92.6 had us mind blown up until.
This dude is a psychopath. Straight up is crazy. It's insane watching this guy snowboard.
Yeah, the way he combines a double cork 1440 into, you know, a cab 1260, I mean, just insane.
Just the way he rides the transition and lands at the top every time is mind-blowing, and he goes massive.
I'm really interested to see if he's going to step it up or clean it up. So starting things off with a McTwist.
And that is crazy, the way he's landing at the edge of that transition.
Yeah, the alley-oop back rodeo. Will we see the frontside 14 right here? We will. Unbelievable into the cab 12. Into the switch, backside double cork, 12. What is happening right now?
You heard Ben at the top. He said this dude's a madman.
He says full-on psychopath. Convinced.
Are you kidding me? 18 years old, coming out of Yokohama, Japan. He pretty much puts down the most technical pipe run that we've seen all week. So now I really want to see how that is going to compare to Jan Scherer's second run, which was technicality, but it was also very fluid, very stylish, a lot of personality to it.
For sure. Yuto is grabbing a lot of the same grabs, keeping it in between the legs, whereas Jan did that frontside alley-oop 9, nose, mixing it up, keeping it fresh, which is super entertaining, and I like to see that kind of snowboarding. So it'll be interesting to see what they do, for sure.
He just went 14, 12, 12.
Which is psycho. That's like, I don't know if I've seen, I think he did 10 on the last hit, actually.
Oh, 10, I'm sorry,
like 10. And it was a
14,
little
12,
loose,
10.
Is it going to
so
take,
insane.
Unreal.
Is it going to take out? Yes, it is.
97.
I've seen him do some difficult combinations, but those combinations that he just put down.
Wow.
And it basically gives Scotty James a 3-point margin to win this thing.
Ugh.
That's wild.
There's not much higher score.
I mean, are they going to have to make more room? Louis Vito is with Yuto Totsuka.
Thank you for letting me come down here, Sal, and just witness that. Yuto, you've been riding so strong all season. What was the secret coming into this modified half pipe, but then step up to the most technical run all season?
It's amazing because I'm happy to make to double cork 14 and double cork 12 in the switchback 1080 combo. Is my first time. So.
That was amazing. What do you do on run number 3?
He will do his best. I will do my best.
That was insane. Yuto, congratulations. I can't wait to watch run number 3.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Louis. You know, traditionally, we say it all the time, never been done. That's what the Burton U.S. Open is about. People holding on at the end of the season to do things they haven't done before. Totsuka doing such.
Well, and he just started doing switch backside spins this year into his runs. And then that first run, he did that switch backside 9, and then just took it to a switch backside 10 his first time.
Well, if you are Pat Burgener, you got to be tripping right now going, wow, all right. It's real out here.
I was almost waiting when Louis asked Yuto, what are you going to do run 3? I was almost waiting for Yuto to just say nothing. I got a 97.
I'm going to stay down here and watch.
But it's going to get interesting because I promise you right now, Scotty James is frothing to get in that pipe, as is this kid right here, Pat Burgener, with the El Gariel to start things out. Into the Wildcat to Fakie. And then a switch backside rodeo on that fly out.
And here he drops in switch now and goes for the switch backside 1080. He took that from a switch backside 9. Oh! And then rounds it out with the frontside 1260, but sits down on that.
That was a huge step up from run 1. If landed, I think it's good enough for the top 3. I think Jake Pates could be a little frightened by that run right now, but if I'm Yuto Totsuka, I don't know if that's up in that 97 category.
No.
I mean, what Yuto did, he's never done it before. It's his first time ever, and he just landed it in run 2 at the U.S. Open pipe finals.
I loved how tech that top section was.
Me too.
For Pat.
Yep.
This switch backside 1080 that he does is really nice, and the way he landed it was perfect and was able to combine with this double Michael chuck. But this is where he kind of ran into problems.
Yeah, and Ben, talk about that. I mean, when you put down the run you want to put down and you go down on the last hit.
It's a bummer. I mean, anytime you fall in a contest, it's a bummer, but especially when you're checking off the boxes, you make it to the last hit, and then you put it down. Like,
We've been describing it as like gaining momentum. It's like snowballing. Every trick you land, you're gaining confidence, momentum.
and sometimes that's even like what goes against you. You're so hyped, you're busting all this stuff out, and then you get to that last hit, and you just like, you know, the energy takes
Just
over.
blow it
you
out.
Blow up.
Yeah.
Well, our defending champion, #1 qualifier, Scotty James, wears the red gloves on finals day for this reason. These are the situations that he lives for. Remember, this dude won 11 events in a row before losing in Calgary just before here, and he's looking for redemption.
Frontside invert. That's where it went wrong for him on his first run.
Oh my! Oh no!
It threw him off his entire line.
That's crazy. That top section is just switching things up.
I mean,
it's throwing hitches in everyone's programs.
Maddie Mastro in the women's final, same thing. Both runs. Ended up coming down to her last run. You wonder if that pressure, especially with where the scale is right now, has him a little bit in his head.
Well, Scotty's been doing a lot of victory laps this season. You know, he tends to go up to the side of the half pipe and high five everyone. So he's being put now into a different situation.
He just got locked onto his toe edge right there.
They just hooked.
And once that thing engaged, there was no getting out of it.
Man, I bet he's pissed right now, and I know he's not happy. Honestly, not that I'm excited to see Scotty James have to put down a third run. I have to see it.
Yeah, because we don't see it that often.
Well, we talked about it, right, with, you know, Mark McMorris unfortunately didn't make the finals, but that brought up the whole conversation of the good ones versus the great ones. Scotty James is going to have to prove that he is a great one today.
Look at the scale of this final. Yuto Totsuka with a 97, Jan Scherer 95.16. They are clear and above, but Jake Pates right there behind him and Danny Davis. Anything is possible in these third and final runs, and what do you know? Shaun White. You think he's happy to be here? I'll sit back and watch a Shaun White poach run all day.
Absolutely. And one thing to mention too about going into run 3, not to get too ahead of myself, I'm just extremely excited right now, is the re-rack. Scotty James will be dropping in first.
Thank you for the reminder.
Yep.
He's got to get right back up to the top, like now.
And then Yuto drops last.
Yuto will have the final say.
Dude still got it, huh?
Yeah, I don't see him ever losing it. Look at this show he's putting on. Shaun White live from Vail, Colorado.
With the power stance.
Insane.
Rocking the 27-inch power stance.
Oh, yeah.
Good gosh. What did you ask before we went on air? You asked us if his shot could go 18 feet. Answer, yes.
Plus 2 feet.
Well,
confirmed.
As T-Bird mentioned, we're re-racking the field. And somehow or another, Scotty James is going to be going first when we come back. Will he be able to put it together, or are we going to have a new champ in 2020 at the Burton U.S. Open Snowboarding Championships? Stay with us.
Let's try this again. Henry, go ahead and throw us under the bus for our horrible attempts at our British accent.
Hello. Yes, we're back. Sorry, that was 100% my fault. It turns out, after all these years, I still don't know how to use the microphone. So once again, I managed to sneak into this incredible family unit down the bottom of the pipe. The good vibes are flowing, especially when the coaches are going on. And right now, we've got John, who's the new CEO of Burton. Hello, John. He's the man tasked with steering this ship in the right direction, which has been going for so long. Now, John, before we start, we'll have to embarrass you. Or maybe you won't be embarrassed. A little bird named Mad Dog. Does that make sense? There's impression of Jim Carrey. Yeah? Yeah? So can we see that? Oh, a one-way party. Pity I wasn't invited. Well, there we go. That looks good. So, John, you're now steering the helm here of the Burton ship. How does it feel? You've been involved for so long with Burton, and now...
Feels great. It's a total honor to work for an amazing family, to keep the legacy of Jake alive, and we're just out here trying to have fun with everybody.
How have you been enjoying this so far?
A packed house for the greatest show on snow. The Burton U.S. Open Snowboarding Championships live from Vail, Colorado. This crowd is fired up because, well, you just can't predict anything in this final. Our defending champ, #1 qualifier, Scotty James, finds himself in last place. And in our third and final runs, because of the re-rack, he is going to have to go first. Whew, crazy. Now, we talked a lot about what his last year has been. I took some time with him the night before last just to get a sense of what that unbeaten streak was like, what losing in Calgary was like, and what it means for him to be here, and really what he wanted to accomplish. You pretty much went unbeaten in a half-pipe competition for the better part of 2 years. Until Calgary.
Yeah, I mean, it was an amazing streak, as everyone was saying. On the mental side for me is, am I prepared to win? And that doesn't necessarily mean, you know, my snowboarding, my tricks, you know, things that I've really been working on the mountain. It's more
variables
that come into play.
Outside factors.
Exactly.
Life, if you will.
So I had to manage all those things, and when I did, you know, finally lose, as people are saying, come second, it definitely hurt, but not for 1 second was I upset that it was because, you know, my win streak came to an end. It was actually more, I was just disappointed in myself, and I think I just kind of went into that competition with not a great mentality. I was probably taking it for granted. It might have been a blessing in disguise. I might have needed a bit of a kick in the ass to keep going, and I think I found it.
You definitely did find it in qualifying. You're qualified #1. We're looking forward to the red gloves coming on.
I am excited to put my red gloves on. It gets me energized, gets me excited, and it means it's a big dance, as you would say, Sal. And you know, it is very different up there. It's a different course historically. You know, snowboarding has always been about a way to express yourself. Not all of us are the same person. We haven't come from the same background. How I look at snowboarding isn't the same way you look at snowboarding. And these courses kind of really identify with us because we can get creative and think outside the box and deliver something special. So I'm really looking forward to the first modified half-pipe at the US Open, and it's going to be a great event to watch and be a part of.
Well, that dominance made the rest of the field clearly go to work. Because while everyone else is watching and being like, oh my God, he's on this streak, we see what it's done to the rest of the field. They have been chasing and working hard. It's like, hey, we respect you, but we're also here to beat you. Scotty James is about to take his run. Let's take a look at what he needs to clean up, because he hasn't gotten back past the top section.
Yeah, he's been having a real hard time with this 13-foot section right there. That was run 1. This is run 2. Watch as he brings this switch backside spin around. He gets...
Oh gosh, Internet, welcome back. This is Last Resort Live, and let me tell you, the pressure has never been higher. Scotty James going for his third and final run. I don't know if you saw on his second run, he wasn't able to stick. Got a little weird on that hit right there that we saw. So he's going in, final chance to get into first place, taking away from a massive score of 97, which is currently our first place leader. Whoa, and a land. Scotty James, definition clutch right there. He is just going to be ecstatic with that behavior. Getting the run that he really needed to, bending down. I can only imagine the relief one feels after doing that. Both hands on the head, of course. We'll need a 97 to take the lead or higher, which will be a tall order. It is possible, though. Replaying on the screen, again, back with that proper frontside invert. Hand right on the coping. Switch back 9 melon in his run. Scotty James, again, coming off a loss in his last major contest, entering into this one, basically undefeated for 2 years. This kind of the pinnacle deciding moment about where he's going to sit, because the re-racking of the order meant, of course, Scotty had to go first, but he went frontside double 14 on his last hit. Barely making it out, but doing it nonetheless. And now really looking for a big score. Wow, the boxing gloves are out. The corral is live. If you're just tuning in, this is Last Resort Live with Stan, your alternative webcast. We are here in the corral live. Scotty James right here next to me. He is trying to beat a score of 97 to get back into that #1 spot. Qualified first here today. Had a couple of jostles his first 2 runs. Very unlike Scotty. Maybe potentially thrown off by the modified super pipe aspect. Again, an interesting reason why we have that here today. The judges are taking their time adding up this score. That is for sure. Corral scene is nice, though, down here. Lively corral scene. Kind of a who's who of the board world. Jamie Anderson over there, Mark McMorris, the Carpenters, Brock Crouch. Score coming in at 93 even. Third place right now for Scotty James. Not a position that he likes to be in. And you can see it in his face. I'm wondering if he might switch to a silver or a bronze glove in the future, maybe move away from the red. We talked to him up top. We have to assume that it had nothing to do with us, that he wasn't able to lay that run down. But again, we can't be sure. I'm trying to decide still throughout this weekend if I am good luck or bad luck to these riders. We're going to have to add bad luck to the Scotty James category. Again, last time you rode with me, we were poaching the super modified pipe with my trusty cameraman, Eric. We couldn't have done it without him, of course. But we succeeded. You saw it here. I got one slash in, and then we went right into the Shaun White interview. Louis Vito has Scotty James right now. But wow, unexpected turn of events. Scotty James not able to stomp his first 2 runs, coming in an extremely clutch situation, not able to get a score of 97. Now that, again, a big lens. We assume that this is a lens that they are taking a frame of Scotty's irises with. Just the most zoomed in photo possible. That's a big lens right there. And Scotty James going to hang out, chill out for a little second. Maybe we try and get Pecky. I see Pecky back here. Maybe we can get him. Pecky, of course. Pecky! Pecky! Come here! We got it! Okay, guys, I am joined by Pecky. Scotty James' assistant. Okay, that's obviously not the result that we needed, not the result that he wanted, but how are we going to turn this into a positive?
Look, you learn from your wins, but you learn just as much from your losses. This is not a loss. Scotty's sitting in 3rd place. We're gonna try and hold this podium, I think. I've got some calls coming in at the moment, and people are happy with the podium. He loses the podium. I'll let you know how that goes if I lose. Yeah,
All right. Pecky, thank you so much. So glad you could make it out here. Any luck with the interns?
They weren't too bad. The coffee was good. I think I'll keep looking for some more. Yeah,
All
but
right.
they didn't quite.
Pecky looking for an intern.
Actually, hold on a second. Go for Becky. Yeah, I'm just on TV actually. I'm just on TV. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm on TV now.
Busy man right
Yeah,
here.
can you see me?
That's
yeah.
Becky, yeah. Oh, hi, yes.
Man, I'm talking to you. I'm talking on here, but oh, there's riders.
All right, Pecky, thank you so much.
See ya. See ya.
Great day. That's Pecky right there. Scotty James.
I bet he's hyped. I rode the chair up with this kid the other day. Super cool kid. He's from Vermont. This is his first open, right? So I bet he's so hyped to land that run.
What's it like to put down your first clean U.S. Open run, regardless of where you end up?
Dude, it's a crazy feeling. Just being at this contest as like the first time I ever came here, it was mind-blowing, man. It's a crazy feeling, you know?
How old were you?
Man, I went to the junior jam way back in the day when I was in Vermont. And then when I finally came back and did the men's contest, I was probably like 17, 18.
And look at this stoke for the 17-year-old. He's never going to forget this moment.
I bet he's stoked.
Yeah, I mean, having problems on that one trick, the first two runs, the third run at the U.S. Open in front of this crowd, and he lands it. He gets it.
When you're currently sitting in 10th place, as Joey Okeson was, and the leader, Yuto Totsuka, has a 97, you almost feel less pressure. You got nothing to lose. Just drop in, send it as hard as you can, and see what score comes in. And it's a big one.
Puts him in 4th place.
Oh, sweet, exactly, Bird. Like at this point, he's just doing it for himself, you know, which is awesome to see.
And look at how stoked he is. That is an incredible.
He just won. He's like, I won.
Yeah.
I won the Open.
That's a major result for him. 17 years old, first U.S. Open.
Next up, Rakai Tate. Again, he was in first place for most of the semifinals. Really showed us what the creativity could look like top to bottom through this modified pipe. And he's been in a struggle on his first 2 runs. You want to see him be able to pull it through because this dude's got it.
For sure, he's got an exciting upper section to watch.
Yeah, not quite able to put it down in his first 2, but this is his final chance here at the U.S. Open. Backside 540 off the tombstone into that tiny bit of transition, and he holds on there. That was the problem trick for him in the first 2 runs. I love that air to fakie into the pipe, and then a switch backside alley-oop. Into the front side double cork 1080. And the cab double cork 1080, and he sits it down. Ben Ferguson, what is the grace period on the ride out for the judges there? Like on that last hit.
I think you got to ride all the way out, man. And I think you take advantage of that next little piece of wall if you really want to finish a run good.
Little insider info from Ben Ferguson right there.
And what did Hawkinson say? He said utilize all the pipe.
Yeah, exactly.
And then just do a giant carve at the bottom. Come around. That was so beautiful. And then he was just so smooth on this rotation and made it look so easy. And then came into this final spin.
Little heavy on the heels.
He should have landed that.
Yeah.
Should have landed that. I bet he's bummed. It was a great run, though.
Great run and just a great show for the entire week from Rakai Tate. I look forward to seeing plenty more from him.
Excuse the disturbance there. This is Last Resort Live. We lost live connection for a sec. Maybe the energy was too strong here at finals. Hard to say. Crazy day. In case you lost us recently, this is Last Resort Live here behind the scenes, bottom of the corral of the Super Pipe. An insane day already. Scotty James with no more runs to go, sitting in 3rd. Will he get bumped out of the podium? Hard to say. We just spoke with his manager, Pecky. had some nice words to say. Chase Blackwell dropping into the pipe now. Big Colorado energy on his final run. Goes back 7 and scrubs. See these hip features, the modified pipe, they wanted a difference, they wanted a change up. Well, that's exactly what they got here. Chase Blackwell bobbling on that as well, just like we saw. Oh, and that is respect. A move that I've seen Ben Ferguson do, basically laying down, keeping it soulful. That's what it's all about, you know, when you take a fall up top. It's really important that you put the run down, wave to Chase, putting out a nice stylish run, you know, because it's important, especially for these spectators, to know snowboarding isn't all 14s and 12s, okay? It also is embodied through a nice carve or a beautiful little method air. So a lot of that here today, be it through the poachers, be it through the riders. We are just more than halfway through to the main event, the final dance at US Open 2020. And of course, we are in the corral with just a laundry list of snowboarding's favorite people. Shaun White we spoke to, Mark McMorris, Maka. We got CGK, Jamie Anderson, Annika, Russ, of course, Zoe Sinat. Just a vibe down here. Dusty just got, oh wow, he's just been iced. Chase Blackwell. Yeah, let's get a quick conversation with how that feels. Chase Blackwell, wow. We were reporting live with Chase Blackwell as he gets iced at the bottom of the super pipe. An unprecedented event. How did that feel right after that run?
I felt good.
Felt good. You heard it here first. Trying to catch his breath after
I lost the mic.
We lost the mic.
Here, I can hear you. Keep talking.
Crazy shake up on the podium, though. I have a feeling more than, oh wow, so you actually didn't even finish the ice. That's actually cheating.
Yeah, I cheated.
For the crowd, blasting the backside method air.
Are we back?
Yep.
We are back. Chase Blackwell just finishing an ice. Big run all around. We are in the final runs. Joey Oxen right here. What up, buddy? Big run. Repping Vermont, yes?
Vermont for life.
Vermont for life. Is it a special energy to be repping Vermont here at the U.S. Open where it was born?
It's awesome. I wish it was still in Vermont, but I love being able to represent Vermont. I have a lot of love for the state. It's awesome.
I'm going to assume you're the youngest competitor in out there today.
Suchiro is. He's 14.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Quick 14-year-old flex. How does that make you feel?
Makes me feel bad about myself. I wish I was that good when I was 14.
Well, you know, still a joyous day for you here at the U.S. Open. Scherer, of course, our youngest competitor, as we just found out. What's on stock for you tonight here after this thing finally wraps, once the pressure's over, the curtains close?
We're going to the dorms. University of Calgary.
You know, you know.
Yeah, to the dorms.
I don't know what that means. Some sort of lingo for some sort of crazy party. If we know, we know. Not in the know. So not really sure what's going to happen. Pat Burgener sitting up top, about to come in. What kind of energy do you think Pat Burgener is going to bring to this run?
He's hyped. I think he's going to lace something cool.
Going to lace something cool. Maybe take a shirt off. Will we see a helmet toss?
If he stomps his run, we will definitely see a helmet toss, and we should watch out because you don't know where it's going.
Yes. Pat Burgener, of course, one of the most legendary helmet tosses. I think he didn't get enough shine for it, honestly. The year that Shaun White threw his helmet into the crowd, also Pat Burgener did, and the media just refused to cover it. But that is why Last Resort Live, here at your service, talking about some of the issues, you know, you might not get on the main broadcast. Again, which if you need to check in on is on Red Bull TV. Wow, Pat Burgener starting in with a frontside 10 on this. Wow, going double Michael Chuck. And wow, stop, hands up. The moment of truth. Oh, a little front flip onto the deck. The moment of truth. Will we lose the helmet? Will he throw the bib? Who knows? Okay, it's hands up. Throw the helmet, Pat. Throw the helmet, Pat. Pat, throw the helmet. trying to get Pat Burgener to throw the helmet, as you can see, yelling excessively about it. He is not interested in listening to me. That's okay, because also safety first, and maybe he wants to poach a little more. Maybe he wants to shred. I'm not trying to knock him here. But the day continues. Eric, my trusty cameraman, has been by my side from the day this thing started 4 days ago. We have been giving you the behind-the-scenes look at the U.S. Open, the unknown, the never-before-seen side of this event. Like, really just blowing the doors off thing, taking the curtains off, hanging out in the VIP lounge, talking about Pat Burgener, throwing his helmet. The important things here at the U.S. Open. Again, if you're just checking in, we are live. Scotty James is sitting in a third-place position. That's the best he will be able to do. A high score of 97 sitting in first. Wow, 87 for Pat Burgener. Oh, yeah, Pat. Pat, any comment? Will we be tossing the helmet?
What?
Will we be throwing the helmet?
Not today, man. I changed. I've been through a lot the last couple of years, so not doing this anymore.
No helmet toss for Pat Burgener. You heard it here first. Danny Davis up in the start gate, kind of the poster child of this event, if there ever were one, and whether or not he wants to admit it, it's still true. Danny Davis, one of the most stylish riders to do it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Danny Davis is my favorite snowboarder. And you know what? I have a feeling that this performance, regardless of its amplitude or number of spins, is going to be one to remember. He literally, in his element right now, been competing in this contest since it was in Vermont. Just someone you can't live without at a contest like this. Probably some music, probably coming in on some insane energy. Danny Davis dropping in on his third final run, getting that plant, missing the coping a little, and wow, back Sevi on the hip feature, launching into this with speed, and there, I have a feeling, big method, takes it deep. Oh man, Danny Davis giving us a method the size of which we just haven't seen. Ended things off with a nice hand direct, as is tradition. Really putting on a show for us here after not landing the run he might have wanted. Still a smile on his face, though. He's still happy. He's not going to let this thing ruin his day. We're getting a Danny chant down here. Cameras on him, number 10 in the Sandman kit. That's Dan Davis. Big method for the gang. A high five for the TM. Alex Andrews, he's going to take a look at his score, kind of hang out, do the shuffle. Maybe kick a board. Doesn't matter. Danny Davis, he can pretty much do what he wants when he wants. Oh man, yeah, the crowd giving it up for Danny Davis here. Again, as I said, the poster child for this modified pipe, regardless of a stomp, And again, a literal who's who of the industry all around us. We are sitting at the base here. Jake Pates up top. Still some time. Louis Vito kind of poised off here. Back here, ready to get the winning interview. He's got Jake Pates kind of showing us his playlist. If you want to ride like Jake Pates and you need to listen to the music like Jake Pates, he's helping you out here. Wow. One thing a lot of people aren't discussing is there's competitors out here competing, but also there's a large number of reporters and on-camera personalities. Who's your favorite? Is it Sal? Is it Henry? Is it Tina? Is it me? I don't know. Leave us that answer in the comments. We'll find out. We'll take a tally. Jake Pates, as we see, immediately kind of scrapping himself on that, but now just allowing this thing to breathe. I got to say, it's one of my favorites almost when these riders do fall at the top, because basically it means we're about to see some gigantic grabs, some fun lip tricks like we just saw from our local boy, Jake Pates. Yeah, Jake. Jake Pates right there. Not able to land that run in the fashion that he wanted, but of course sitting on a nice score nonetheless. This is the day, ladies and gentlemen. As we've been saying, can't stress enough, Last Resort Live with Stan. Final couple runs here, and we will have a champion, the U.S. Open 2020 Modified Superpipe Finals. Everything is out the door. Scotty James currently sitting in a best possible position of third place. So everything I predicted out the window, okay? I was talking a big game. Thought I understood exactly how this thing was going to play out. And boy, was I wrong. Jake Pates sitting in 6th place. Jake Pates. Wow. That's it. Podium is set, as we have just been informed. Scotty James will stay in 3rd. Jan Scherer will stay in 2nd with that 93. And of course, 97. Yotur. Final run for Jan Scherer. Really blowing the doors off this thing. Thought he might stay in the top. He does have one chance to take on first. And that looks like that has just disappeared with that second hit up top. But again, this is sure to be a show. Jan Scherer really showing up this year in the pipe scene. Relatively, by me at least, unknown over the last couple years, but showing up in a big way. And as we see, 2nd place finish at the U.S. Open. Not something you're going to be too upset about. Round of applause all around down here for Jan. The smile on his face, you can tell. He is juiced. Wow, with the Nike SB pants. What year did you get those, Jan? Wow. Yuto gonna hit us with a victory lap. It is official. Christian Haller coming up and saying hi. Christian Haller, hey, kind of a last-minute sneak attack addition to this poach, and when'd you get in?
You have to. I got in last night.
Wow, came in just to poach the pipe?
Yeah.
Kind of showing us you still got it out there, too.
Well, trying. 2nd day of pipe riding this season, but yeah, I'd like to have a few more days.
What's your reaction to this podium? I think that this is a pretty big upset. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, maybe it's an upset, but it's kind of cool to maybe switch it up with a modified pipe, and people can throw down different rounds. Super stoked for my boy Jan. A run of his life, seriously. And no, stoked.
Thank you, Christian Haller. Good to see you. That's Christian Haller, legendary shredder. Hal Blutzel right behind me, was closely behind Shaun. Jan, great work, buddy. Congrats. Big 2nd, huge run. How did that one feel?
This one, the last one.
No, you're 2nd place. Yeah.
Well, I can't really believe it yet. Like, I didn't really. Yeah, I was not even thinking about doing the alley-oop 9. Like, I was not sure if I gonna get there. So it's all like way up there right now.
Well, congrats, my man. So good to see you. You've had a hell of a year. All right. Wow. We have seen it. That's it. Yuto he's been battling Scotty for years now, I would say, showing up today with a big score at 97. Unbelievable. I think when that run got landed, even Scotty James himself had to know, well, this one's going to be tough. And yes, it was so tough. In fact, he just wasn't able to actually do it. Okay, so now that is a wrap. Our podium is in. Ices have been made. The pipe has been poached. Yuto, our champion right now, getting interviewed by Louis Vito. It has been an incredible weekend here at the U.S. Open. Champions from the expected to the unexpected all weekend long. Anna Gasser, Dusty Henriksen with his massive 14, not taking first, of course, going second. Just an incredible weekend. Final moments here. You can tell these riders are probably glad, maybe a little sigh of relief. I know I will have a sigh of relief to finally be wrapping up here at the U.S. Open 2020 coverage. Of course, this has been Last Resort Live with Stan, your alternative webcast. We've been having fun all week. If you enjoyed what you saw, drop us a comment. We'll be getting this thing live. Stays up for your pleasure in case you missed it. You can rewind it. Yuto, big win. A hug for Louis Vito. Scotty James, respect, gets back up to the top, does a poach. Mark Clavin, a skier. Really messing with the vibe. We don't love that here. Mark Clavin, glad I could get you for the post show. The mic's down.
Yuto! That was sick. Should we get it back and sign up? Are we dead? You can hear on this mic. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Stan's show this entire time at the Burton U.S. Open. That was crazy. Yuto did a wonderful job. I don't think it works anymore.
Are we live? We're good. Okay. I'm being told I got to switch earpieces with Louis Vito. We're going to jump into the other Red Bull stream, so get over there if you want to see me live there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me all weekend. I've been Stan Leveille. Couldn't have done it without my trusty man, Eric. And we're going in. All right. They're going to juice me up. As you can see, I am being fit up with an earpiece. See, we are still live. Sorry, behind the neck.
You feel efficient.
Wow, okay, in case you're just checking in, we are both live and coming live soon. 2 mics, 2 hands. What can't we do? Award ceremony going down. The purple backdrop is up. The champagne bottles being brought out. Scotty James being awarded that 3rd place. Obviously, not the result he was looking for here today, but the result he was given nonetheless. 2nd place being awarded. Jan Scherer getting called up. First appearance here on the podium. Zach Nigro trying to pretend like he's a photographer here with a camera in his hand. And your champion, everyone. Hands together if you are at home. Yuto Totsuka battling Scotty James all season, even into last season, taking home his first U.S. Open title. Incredible. You love to see it. Wow, just another historic U.S. Open title. The champagne is getting sprayed. Jan is just taking a direct approach to Yuto. And there you have it, folks. Unbelievable. What a weekend it has been. We've laughed. We've cried. We've bailed. It's been fun. And you know what? I'm glad that you came along for the All Access Pass exclusive tour here at the U.S. Open, joined by, me and a cast of characters, the riders. Thank you to everybody who let me talk to them all weekend. I know sometimes I was a little bit much getting in your face, and I just appreciate You guys let me do my thing. Thanks to Red Bull for having me out, and the Burton U.S. Open, of course. As we wrap up here shortly, this will not be a day I will soon forget. I have just, oh, also, wow, the result that no one is talking about right now. Mark McMorris beating Terje Hawkinson in the snow skate race. I had just gotten word Mark McMorris was the winner of the snow skate race between Terje. You know Terje is going to hate that. So, just incredible experience all around. And, wow, just let's take a real moment to soak this in, okay? Let's just take a moment. Getting words in my ear, just trying to navigate them here. 2 mics, okay? We're going to end up on the Red Bull stream. Yeah, Scotty. Good work, man. There goes Scotty James. Still on the podium. Not taking the result he wanted, of course. Wow. Oh, hi, Eric. Jeez. Got away from you there. Almost thought I was going to lose you in the final seconds. But yes, as Louis Vito makes his way back to the booth, they have got me down here. And that's it, kind of a bittersweet feeling here as we go live. I'm going to hand this mic away. Can I? Yeah, let's get the live mic going. Thank you guys so much for tuning into Last Resort Live. Switch over to Red Bull TV if you want to see me, right now.